I finished packing my bags and headed towards Mum's car. I was hyped up for the sleepover at Michael's tonight. I couldn't wait to play games, chill, and stay up until the morning. My mom looked over my shoulder with a knowing smile, happy to see my excited demeanor. "We're here, sweetie," my mom said as she parked her car. "Now remember, don't stay up too long and eat the food Michael's mom gives you." "Yes, Mom, I know." I hastily made my way out of the car after kissing her on the cheek. After my mom left, I rang the doorbell on Michael's door, greeted by my other friend Gerald. "Hey man, what's good?" he exclaimed as he pulled me in for a hug. "It's been a long time since I saw you. How are you feeling after, Gerald's voice trailed off after realizing what he was about to say. "Don't worry man, it's been rough after my dad's death, but me and my mom are handling it the best we can." "I'm glad to hear it." Gerald's expression softened after hearing my response. "Come on. Michael is excited to meet you as well." As the door swung open, Michael's face lit up with a wide grin. "Hey, you made it. We're gonna have a blast tonight." The three of us settled into Michael's room, surrounded by the dim glow of fairy lights. We laughed, played video games, and raided the kitchen for snacks. Eventually, the idea of the Ouija board came up. "You guys believe in this stuff?" Michael asked, holding the dusty board. Gerald shrugged. "I don't know, but it sounds like a fun way to spend the night." "What do you think, Jordan?" I hesitated, thinking about my dad. "Yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot." We gathered around the Ouija board, fingers lightly touching the planchette. At first, it was all fun and games. We asked silly questions, waiting for the pointer to move on its own. But then, the atmosphere shifted. "Is there anyone here with us?" Michael asked tentatively. The planchette began to move, spelling out letters. MURDERED. A chill ran down my spine. "Guys, this isn't funny. I swear I'm not doing anything." Gerald's eyes widened. The pointer moved again, spelling out a name. My heart sank. David, David. That was my dad's name. "I don't like this," Michael whispered, looking spooked. Suddenly, the room felt colder, and an eerie presence enveloped us. The planchette moved to yes when we asked if it was my dad. Panic set in as we realized we were in over our heads. Suddenly, objects started to move on their own, lights flickered and the atmosphere became colder. The Ouija board continued to move with an unworldly energy, determined to get its message across. "We have to figure this out." Michael trailed off when the lamp fell off the table, shattering into pieces. A panicked scream echoed from the window, begging for mercy. "What do we do?" Gerald stammered. "We have to help him," I said, my voice shaky. "We have to find a way to set him free." The Ouija board spelt out a series of instructions, leading us to a hidden compartment in Michael's room. Inside, we found an old journal that belonged to Michael's grandmother. It contained a ritual to release trapped spirits. As we followed the steps, the room grew darker, shadows dancing on the walls. The air became heavy with a sense of sorrow. Just when we thought we couldn't handle it any longer, a bright light filled the room, and a gentle breeze swept through. "My son, thank you," a soft voice echoed, and I knew it was my dad. We stared in awe as the room returned to normal. The Ouija board and journal disappeared, leaving no trace of the supernatural encounter. "Is he gone?" Michael whispered. "He's free," I said, tears streaming down my face. The three of us shared a moment of silence, the weight of the night lingering in the air. From that day forward, our sleepovers were filled with laughter and games, but we never forgot the night we encountered the supernatural and helped a trapped spirit find peace.
Story 2.
Guys, I'm bored, Melissa exclaimed, laying face flat on the bed. Well, you're the one who didn't want to join us on our face masks, Melissa, I exclaimed. Yeah, girl, we tried. Audrey nodded in agreement. To this, Melissa groaned in annoyance. Oh, I know. Audrey said, let's play a horror movie and eat snacks. Finally. Melissa yelled out. I'm going to grab the popcorn and cookies. She dashed out of the bedroom with adrenaline. I'll help her and grab the drinks. You sure you'll be okay alone, Hannah? Audrey asked. She knew I wasn't okay alone these days, not with the stalker following me for the past 2 weeks. I think I'll come down with you guys, just in case. Audrey held out her hand, and we walked down towards Melissa. Hey! I was thinking since we're here, we could order some pizza too. The TV is way bigger in the living room than in the bedroom. What do you think, Hannah? Pizza sounds great. After placing the order for our pizza and leaving the snacks on the table, it was time to put on a horror movie. Let's watch the movie while we wait, I said, the girls nodding in agreement. After turning off the lights, I couldn't help the shivers that ran down my spine. My gut feeling was telling me that something was wrong. The movie started, and we got engrossed in the scares and jumps. The anticipation for the pizza delivery kept us on the edge of our seats. When the doorbell finally rang, a wave of relief washed over us. I'll get it, Melissa announced, bouncing off the couch. As she opened the door, her cheerful demeanor turned into sheer horror. I could hear a sharp intake of breath, and then Melissa's blood-curdling scream echoed through the house. What's wrong? Audrey and I rushed to the door, our hearts pounding. Melissa stood frozen, her eyes wide with terror. There, holding the pizza boxes, was the stalker, the same person who had been haunting my every step for weeks. No, 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 I whispered, my legs threatening to give way. The intruder grinned, revealing a sinister smile that sent chills down my spine. Surprise, ladies! I thought I'd join your little party. Panic set in as Audrey and I grabbed Melissa, retreating into the living room. The stalker casually strolled in, shutting the door behind them. What do you want? Audrey demanded, her voice shaky. Oh, just to enjoy the show, the stalker replied, a twisted amusement in their eyes. I fumbled for my phone, fingers trembling as I dialed the emergency number. The stalker chuckled, pacing around the room like a predator enjoying the fear they instilled. You can try calling the police, but it will fail. He grabbed the phone out of my hand with full force. It felt as if the bones in my fingers were being crushed. Don't you dare touch her! Melissa and Audrey screamed, jumping on top of him. As they continued to tackle him on the floor, I managed to take my phone back and immediately called the police. As the police were on their way, we huddled together, our eyes never leaving the intruder. You know how long I was waiting for you to turn of age? He whispered, his twisted grin never leaving his face. You know how long it has been? I am so excited to see you girls all at once. We're not playing into your stupid games. Let us go. Audrey warned. Oh no, sweet little girl, we are just getting started. The minutes felt like hours until the distant wail of sirens signaled the approaching help. The stalker's confident demeanor faltered, and with a quick, menacing glance, they fled through an open window, disappearing into the night. The police arrived, taking our statements and promising increased patrols in our neighborhood. The horror movie we had planned to enjoy now felt like a cruel premonition. That night, we locked every door and window, and sleep eluded us. The fear lingered, casting a long shadow over what was supposed to be a simple, fun-filled sleepover. The presence of our uninvited guest would forever taint the memories of that night.
Story 3.
I parked my car just outside of Jessica's house for a sleepover, eager for her to spill all the drama that happened while I was away for college. Most of our friend group had a massive argument, and in the end, Jessica was the only one willing to talk to me. Being away from home, I wondered why everyone had such intense feelings towards me. I rang the doorbell while holding onto my suitcase. In 2 minutes, Jessica opened the door and screamed in excitement. "Oh my God, Kate, it is so good to see you after years." She pulled me into a hug, almost taking my breath away. "Jessica, I've only been gone for 4 months in college." I laughed breathlessly after hugging her back. We settled into the cozy living room, catching up on life and gossip. Jessica hesitated for a moment before bringing up the friend group drama. "Kate, there's something you should know," she said, her expression shifting. "Lily is not too happy to see you back." "Lily? Why?" I asked, genuinely confused. Lily and I were never particularly close, but I couldn't fathom why she'd harbor resentment. If anything, I couldn't understand why everyone else would hold resentment towards me either. "Well, you know Jake, right? Lily's ex-boyfriend? She thinks you stole him while you were still in town," Jessica explained. My eyes widened in disbelief. "What? That's ridiculous. Jake and I were just friends. I had nothing to do with their breakup." "I know, Kate, but jealousy does crazy things to people." That was the kickstart of the drama in our group. Everyone formed sides, and in the end, everyone except for me excluded Jake, believing Lily's lies about him cheating on her with you. I do want to preface that Jake doesn't hate you at all, he just needs some space after Lily's stalkerish tendencies. I was in disbelief after Jessica explained the entire situation. I was away for so long I didn't even have time to meet up with everyone, let alone try to steal Jake away from Lily. How did everyone believe Lily? I'm so confused. I explained, trying to wrap my head around this ordeal. "I know, everything is insane right now. Just be careful, okay?" I nodded, the unease settling in the pit of my stomach. The air in Jessica's house felt heavy as we continued our conversation, an unspoken tension hanging between us. I tried to enjoy the rest of the sleepover, but I couldn't help the sense of unease creeping up my neck. Something was going to happen, but I did not get to anticipate what happened next. Later that night, after a hearty dinner and more catching up, Jessica suggested a sleepover. We retreated to her room, reminiscing about old times, trying to push aside the awkwardness that lingered in the air. As the night wore on, Jessica fell asleep, but I found myself tossing and turning. A creak in the hallway made me sit up, my senses on high alert. Was someone else in the house? I strained my ears, hearing faint footsteps. Fear gripped me as I realized someone was approaching Jessica's room. The doorknob turned slowly, and the door creaked open. In the dim light, I saw Lily standing there, her eyes filled with resentment and anger. "Kate," she whispered, her voice dripping with venom. "You stole Jake from me, and now you're back, stealing everything." Before I could react, she lunged at me, her hands clawing at my throat. Panic set in as I fought back, struggling to breathe. Jessica woke up, screaming, and managed to pull Lily away. "What are you doing? Are you insane?" Jessica yelled, holding Lily back. "I won't let her ruin everything." Lily shrieked, her eyes wild. The commotion attracted Jessica's parents, and Lily was escorted out of the house. I sat there, shaken, trying to comprehend the horror that had just unfolded. The next day, Jessica and I decided to involve the authorities. Lily's actions were beyond a simple grudge, they were dangerous. As I left Jessica's house, I couldn't shake the feeling that Lily's obsession with revenge would cast a long, chilling shadow over my return home. The welcome I had hoped for turned into a nightmare, and the scars of that night would haunt me for a long time.